This is red cypress. It's been out here drying for a month or two. Preferably you dry it longer. This is rough sawn. A sawmill up in Bushnell was able to do this for me. All his equipment is from the 1940s. It's called Peanut Sawmill. And I just cut it to size for the house. This house uses all 1-inch plank cypress, 1 inch thick, 10 inches tall, and rough sawn. And right now I'm burning it because this is a, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Dutch style dog trot. One of the traditional things to do is to burn the siding for weatherproofing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm lightly burning it. I don't want to cause it to crack any more than it has. That's to be expected just because it's been out here drying in the sun. This isn't perfect kiln dried wood. I'm going to go over it a couple times so I can get some even heat on it. Essentially turpentine coming out of the wood right there. Now the difference between red and white cypress is white cypress grows near flowing water like rivers. It's easier to get. There is a law in the state of Florida that you cannot cut down cypress trees that are below the high water mark. Of course, along rivers, it's more likely to find cypress above the high water mark, but because the water is flowing, there is less tannins in the water, and the tree absorbs less of that, causing the wood to be not as hard. Stay close so you can hear me because the torch is loud. Causing the wood to be not as hard and a lighter color, closer to pine than anything. Red cypress comes from swamps. Sometimes we get lucky, and if a tree dies, they go up there and they cut it down. But if the tree is living and it's below the high water mark, then they can't cut it. Red cypress is in still water from swamps, has more tannins in the water, more nutrients in the water. The tree absorbs it. You get the darker color. Get the darker color, and the wood is a lot harder, a lot more rot resistant. You can pan to the house, the front of the house over there. That's the color we're looking for. Prepare a bunch of these boards like this. There's a couple different ways to do this. I'm doing it with a torch because I want to do it gradually. There's a way where you strap 3 boards together into a triangle, tight triangle, like a chimney. You lean it up against something that you don't want to catch on fire, and you light a fire in the bottom of it and let it burn for a moment. And just like a chimney fire, the fire shoots up through and chars the wood. Now because this is cypress, it's already very weather resistant. So really, this is mainly for looks. But if you were doing this with like pine siding or something like that, you'd want a nice deep char in the wood. I believe, and unless somebody out there watching this knows, I believe we are the only house in the state of Florida that has this technique for the siding. I have not seen this anywhere else. All right, we'll come back to it when we get it up on the side of the house. So we got the board up on the side of the house. You can come over here. these boards I had to burn on the side of the house. That's why everything's wet right now. Pre-drilled all the holes because cypress does not take a nail very easily. And now I gotta do, let's see, 1, 2 more on this side. These were rotted out because they were painted, and the water coming off the roof, and that's the bathroom window there, had a tin roof coming off from it that funneled all the water right down across here and rotted these boards out. So because they were painted, it held in the moisture and rotted them out from the inside out. And what was I gonna say? Been a long day since we last met. Had to drive into town and buy 5 drill bits. It's hot out here too. Rotted those out. That's the main reason for replacing it. Oh, I wanted to show you this. So you see, when I hit it with the torch, something else that it does is it brings the resin out of every single knot. And what that does is the knot is a likely spot for it to rot out, and then the knot falls out, and then you have a hole in the side of your house. And by bringing the resin out, it seals the knots really well. So you just hit it with a little bit of fire, and the resin comes right out of the wood. This is original right here. So this is over 100 years old, these 2 boards. It's just this area right here was what kept getting hit. And I might fill this with tar. I might not worry about it. These overlap by 1 inch, so I don't think that's to be worried about. The overhang of the eaves of this house are so much so that it shouldn't ever affect it. It just did in this instance because that small roof that was over the bathroom window funneled all the water back towards this side of the house. And this is the summer kitchen on the house. The house is 1890. The main kitchen's right in there, and then this is the summer kitchen where all the windows fold open. And we still have our Christmas tree up. Alright, I'm going to get these boards up, and this will probably conclude this video. I just wanted to describe how this was done back in the day, how I'm doing it now. I'm hoping the paint will just fall off. It seemed to mostly fall off on the other side. If not, then I'll come back and scrape it and re-burn it. But yeah, when I burned them on the house, I had to have the garden hose ready, and it's good to have the wall open. And now I'm going to let it dry out a little bit, and I'm just going to start making the next few boards because it takes a long time. Each board on this house has to be made custom by hand and fit again about 6 times. So subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. I also work on clocks, I work on cars, and so on. This is probably going to be the first video up there. Following this video, you'll see a few videos of the People's Convoy movement in Florida. I did not follow them all the way to DC, so you won't see anything past the state line. But we had a great time there, amazing bunch of people. But for the most part, this channel is going to be focused on working on this behemoth of a fish shack, and we'll get into the history in another video, and maybe clocks and cars as well. We have a lot of classic vehicles, and I'm kind of addicted to clocks. Oh, and my wife here does I wouldn't say taxidermy, but osteology is what I call it, because that's mainly what she focuses on, is skeletons and things like that. And I guess we can put some of that stuff up here as well. So there's a little something for almost everybody, except for you Karens and Martha Stewart-esque people. I don't think we're going to do flower arrangements and things like that. It's going to be pretty rednecky kind of things. So welcome to South Florida. All right.